Thanks for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Mark Martin. Investors could not be happier. The stock market soaring since Trump won the election. The president-elect is putting together a team designed to restore the U.S. economy, and markets are showing their support. The Dow flirted with 20,000 again Tuesday. Investors clearly buoyed since Donald Trump's election. The value of the dollar hit a 14-year high on Tuesday as well. That comes as the latest Gallup poll shows U.S. economic confidence has also reached a new high. You can see here how it shot up after Trump's election.
I think that what we're going to see is both Donald Trump and the country now turning to what his presidency is going to look like. He is almost done putting together his cabinet, so we have a good sense of who will be surrounding him if those folks are able to be confirmed by the Senate.
And Trump's choices show his plans to surround himself with successful leaders who share real-world economic experience, including his latest pick for Secretary of the Army. Military veteran Vincent Viola once chaired the New York Mercantile Exchange and owns the NHL's Florida Panthers. Others include fast food executive Andy Puzder to lead the Labor Department, billionaire investor Wilbur Ross for Commerce Secretary, financier Steven Mnuchin for Treasury, and Goldman Sachs President Gary Cohn as his top economic advisor.
We are going to stand up for the American worker like nobody has ever stood up for that worker before. Our economic agenda can be summed up in three very beautiful words: jobs, jobs, jobs.
And Trump tweeting his economic strategy saying, "My administration will follow two simple rules: buy American and hire American." Meanwhile, there are rumors Trump could nominate conservative icon and CNBC contributor Larry Kudlow for the Council of Economic Advisors. Kudlow served on President Reagan's Office of Management and Budget. Trump's pick for budget director, Republican Congressman Mick Mulvaney, is also getting conservative kudos because he's a fierce deficit hawk, known for pushing spending cuts to balance the budget. In other news, German police are searching for a Tunisian man in connection with Monday's attack on a Berlin Christmas market. His documents were found in the truck that plowed through the crowd, killing at least 12 and injuring 48. The wanted man is reported to use different aliases. On Tuesday, police released a Pakistani man who'd been arrested near the scene, citing lack of evidence. ISIS has now claimed responsibility for the killings. The Amaq news agency said the attacker is, quote, a soldier from the Islamic State. Police are not sure if the attacker had support. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu sent condolences to the victims of the terror attack in Germany. He said the Bible gives a clue on how to fight terrorism.
My message is actually from Joshua. It said, be strong and of good courage. That's how you fight this thing. Mm-hmm. The most elementary thing is strength and courage. Strength is not enough, but courage is the most important quality because it guarantees, I think the Romans said this, courage is not the only quality, but it guarantees the others. Because if you don't have courage, everything else is meaningless. You have to have great courage and determination to fight this evil.
Netanyahu said terrorism can be defeated if those under attack unite to fight it. In Mexico, at least 29 people are dead after an explosion at a fireworks market. More than 70 people were injured, some with burns on over 90% of their bodies. The open-air market in San Pablito in Mexico State was filled with shoppers when the big blast went off. A chain reaction of smaller explosions followed as the fireworks ignited. Authorities are still investigating the cause. Some nearby homes were burned in the blast, and authorities are asking people to stay 3 miles away so as not to interfere with rescue efforts. President Obama has banned future oil drilling in much of the Arctic and Atlantic Oceans. He announced that 31 oil and gas reserves are now off limits in areas stretching from New England to Virginia. The move is aimed at preventing President-elect Trump from fulfilling his promise to unleash the nation's untapped energy reserves. Environmentalist groups hope the ban will be difficult for future presidents to reverse. Christians in a village in India are now fearing for their lives after being attacked for singing Christmas carols. Hindu radicals attacked 30 Christians who were meeting in a private home in the state of Madhya Pradesh last week. They dragged the Christians into the street and beat them, accusing them of trying to convert people to Christianity. 20 other Christians from a village in Rajasthan were also beaten with clubs because of their faith. 5 people were hospitalized for serious injuries. For most of us, Christmas is a joyous time of year. However, for Christians in some Muslim countries, the celebration is tempered with unease. Many wonder if their Christmas worship services will be safe. Gary Lane has that story from Lahore, Pakistan.
In the wake of the Christmas market attack in Berlin and the recent slaughter of Egyptian Christians as they worshipped in Cairo, Christians around the world are bracing themselves for more possible attacks this Christmas. In Pakistan, Christians are a tiny minority in the Muslim-dominated country. This will be the first Christmas the Amants will spend without the youngest member of their family. 16-year-old Wasib was an athlete who enjoyed playing cricket. He loves studying math and English and planned to eventually earn a PhD in engineering. Last spring, Wasib was killed in a terrorist bomb attack against Pakistani Christians celebrating Easter in a popular city park.
I loved my son. He didn't do anything against anyone. They killed him because they knew he was a Christian, but we forgive them in the love of Christ.
The Amant family was not alone. 75 people were killed and hundreds injured when the Islamic extremists detonated a suicide vest packed with explosives. Another 16-year-old Christian, Sharoon Patra, was also among the dead. CBN News talked with his parents.
My son Sharoon was the most obedient of my children. I was always thought he'd be the one to take care of me when I get old. But we know from the gospel, as Jesus forgives them, we must also forgive those who did this.
18-year-old son Irfan survived the attack, but hot shrapnel from the blast tore into his back and stomach, damaging nerves surrounding his intestinal tract.
God spared me so I can serve him. I want to be a missionary.
Pakistani Christians are on edge, taking precautions against more attacks this Advent season. It seems Muslim jihadists love to strike them at Christmas and Easter. Islamic terrorists also struck this church, Christ Church, in Johannabad, Pakistan, in Easter 2015. 14 people were killed in 2 explosions that also struck St. John's Church. Wilson Chowdhury of UK Pakistani Christians says attacks against churches and the persecution of Christians will continue in Pakistan as long as school children are taught to hate non-Muslims.
Christians and other minorities are demonized, they're caricatured. In the case of Christians, they're often labeled as spies of the West, and this is in the national curriculum.
Gary Lane, CBN News, Lahore, Pakistan.
Coming up, we head to the Nun Zone. It's a place in America where people living there claim no religious affiliation. See what one church is doing to reach the area. Welcome back. The Pacific Northwest is often called the Nun Zone because most people living there claim no religious affiliation. But one church may have found the secret to reaching the unreachable. Abigail Robertson shows us their success started when they went back to the Bible.
7 years ago, the future looked pretty bleak for Westminster Community Church, a 92-year-old congregation located in Seattle.
We started to decline at a pretty crazy rate. In fact, I published that our going out of business date was going to be November of 2011 if we didn't do something different.
The more the city grew, the more its people changed.
90% of Seattle are very secularized in their worldview.
Members of Westminster realized they had to roll with these changes in order to reach these people.
So if we're hoping to stay in business here, we need to know how to take seculars to heaven in a way that they would gladly go.
After a number of failed attempts, church leaders decided on a tactic from biblical times.
The church for the first 300 years, it really was a dinner church. And once we started to own that, we thought, well, we've tried everything else and failed miserably. Let's go try this.
Lead pastor Verlin Fosner says it only took about 6 weeks for their community dinners to make a difference.
They were just flooding at us. So they just start grabbing a hold of their friends and say, hey, this is the family dinner table. for this neighborhood, and we've all wanted to be neighbors. Well, now we've got a spot to have a family dinner, and this church provides it, and they talk about Jesus, and it's actually kind of interesting, and it's not real religious, but it's very inspiring to us.
Each night of the week, Community Dinners opens their doors somewhere in Seattle and invites people to share a meal together while hearing the good news of God's love.
The one thing that I hear consistently is the peace in the room. People come in and they just go, there's a peace here, I feel peaceful.
Brendan Perko literally helped spread this gospel community by starting the Pike Market location 3 years ago. He sees the dinner table as a very effective tool for discipleship.
A lady that's been with us maybe for about 2 months, 2.5 months, she always says, well, I'm not Christian, I'm actually Buddhist, and I don't know about all this, but I do know when I come here I feel uplifted, I feel encouraged, and I feel loved.
Brendan made one of his first connections with Tulela, a man he invited in off the street.
Some days I'll come in here and I don't even feel like being here, and Brandon would guide me through it, pray with me. That's why I keep coming here, because I know it helps. It helps out. So the Lord, God guides me back to these people. Because if I'm not doing this, I'm out there doing other stuff that's not good. These people changed my life.
In a city not known for faith, community dinner churches could help change that perception. 20 new locations are planned, one for each walking village around Seattle.
We're glad you're here.
Okay. And the idea is picking up steam. Community Dinners has garnered national attention from pastors around the country, and it has even proven to be a financially sustainable church model.
$1,600 a month, and you can open up a dinner church that'll take care of 150 people a week. And so so money is really not much of an issue when it's that inexpensive.
And now they offer affordable housing and job assistance as part of their service.
Eat together, include the poor, include the stranger, and remember me, talk about me. And what better discipleship is there than when you're sitting at a table talking about Christ every week?
Verlin and his team have definitely answered Jesus' call to feed my sheep, proving that it only takes a little to reach a great amount of people. Reporting from Seattle, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.
Coming up, wedding bell blues for the generation known as the millennials. Millennials are the most unchurched and unmarried generation in American history. Many feel they have good reasons for not sitting in the pews or walking down the aisle, but some Christian millennials are working to win them over. As Paul Strand reports, they won't give up on their generation without a fight.
For the first time in U.S. history, single adults outnumber married ones.
Marriage is becoming extinct, and our generation is leading the way.
Groups like Josh Craddock's Personhood USA and Jennifer Murph's Millennials for Marriage warn a large percentage may never tie the knot. Why? They've seen her live through the trauma caused by divorce.
They're concerned and hesitant to jump into a relationship because they don't want to see that sort of pain and heartbreak in their own lives.
25% of millennials do not get married at all. They don't want to get married. They said, this is not for me.
Josh Hester is an exception, married at 22.
I was not one of the statistics, no.
He and Craddock believe the stumbling block is that many millennials feel they need to have their act totally together before committing.
We live in a career-driven society these days, and everything's about make more, be more.
Millennials have considered marriage to be more of a capstone than a cornerstone institution.
A lot of my friends that are married, I feel like for them, like they're just trying to achieve something before getting married.
You have to have education, you have to have a job, you'll have to have your life together before you get married. That's just not true. When you get married, that's something that you're going to build on.
CBN News spoke with Craddock at a conference where young people were training to fight for and promote marriage and families.
It's absolutely like the most important thing in this world.
This was the plan that the Lord wanted for us to experience, and what He experiences as us being His children.
But it's hard to convince people of that plan if they don't regularly hear it or see it in action. That's where church can make a difference. One problem, though, while more than half of older Americans attend weekly services, less than 30% of millennials do.
I feel like a lot of the millennials that have grown up in church have seen a lot of the hypocrisy of the church, and so that's kind of, I don't know if it scared them or just put a bad taste in their mouth, and I think a lot of them are just set up with it.
That could be because millennials are often more accepting of gay marriage, premarital sex, and even abortion. Strict no-nos for many churchgoers.
I know from my own experience with my own daughters, and they accept whatever anyone does.
So what do you do with a generation that will not, at face value, accept your values? We found a group in Beverly, Massachusetts that deals with questions like that just about every time they meet. Netcast is a church headed up by Matt Tuning and jam with millennials. Some credit its unblushing openness about sin and other controversial topics.
From the stage or in our music, we talk a lot about sin. And we talk about a lot of our own sin because we're sinners, saved by grace through faith alone in Christ alone.
He actually tells us the things he did, so we're sitting, and all the millennials are sitting there saying, wow, I can be saved because he did the same thing I did.
That rawness, that element of authenticity really marks our generation. Therefore, it ought to mark the churches that are trying to reach our generation.
He says stuff that 50% of the time he probably shouldn't say, but I think people love that.
And when it comes to talking about issues like sex, gay marriage, and abortion, Netcast shows no fear.
We're not afraid of those conversations at all. We're happy to engage in those conversations.
The key, he says, is always putting Jesus first. No debate goes on without considering Christ and what he says.
When you do that, it just makes the argument a little less ferocious. And if we could get Jesus right, then these other things will begin to fall into place.
The church also has an enormous mission, and Tuning says millennials love a cause and vision that's huge and meaningful, like reaching the 1 million people living around them.
In the next 32 years, for us, we want to plant about 100 different churches and mobilize about 100,000 people.
But is this seemingly unchurched generation ready to serve God, ready to have faith?
Because of the world that we live in today, I think that more and more the millennials are searching for their own meaning of why they're here, their meaning of life.
Speak to them in their language, and they're anxious to hear.
Having wrestled through those things, I think, is a very appealing thing to the millennial generation. They want answers.
Doesn't mean their hunger for God isn't just as real. Paul Strand, CBN News, reporting from Netcast Church in Beverly, Massachusetts.
God raises up his people everywhere to reach all generations. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. A pastor in Norfolk, Virginia wants to bring life back to his community by introducing them to Christ. One problem is the people don't have a very positive image of the church. As Caitlin Burke shows us, he's partnering with CBN to improve that by bringing his neighborhood together.
Times change, but sadly, institutions often stay the same. That's why people living around Park Place Methodist Church in Norfolk, Virginia, haven't always felt welcome there.
The tradition of this church has been very formal, and we have an informal community that has moved around the church. And so, unfortunately, we have a generation that has become estranged to Christianity and estranged to the church thereby.
Over the weekend, Pastor Joe McDaniel partnered with CBN and several other sponsors to throw a HipHop birthday party for Jesus, inviting all of their neighbors to attend.
We're going to give out a lot of gifts. We're going to give out food, but most importantly, we're going to celebrate the birth of our Lord.
Park Place Ministries hopes that events like this one will help bridge the gap between the church and the community.
When we find Christianity in various parts of the world, we find crime rates are low, we find marriages are doing better, we find that the family is stronger. So in theory, where Christ is, we have a stronger community. And so the idea is to put Christ into the community and rid ourselves of a lot of the problems that we have here in this community.
The hip-hop party also allowed Park Place Ministries to get a better understanding of their community's needs and tell them about new outreach programs.
Our challenge is to meet them where they are, first of all, and to, little by little, with the help of partners, and most of all, the help of God, to get them where they need to be.
So there's always good to have a church in the community that is willing to give back to the community, keep kids happy, keep them off the street, keep them out of a lot of things that they could be doing.
CBN donated 50 food baskets, as well as 300 gift bags and several other prizes. The ministry also plans to continue to partner with Park Place Ministries as it works to bring Christ to the local community. Caitlin Burke, CBN News, Norfolk, Virginia.
15 to 20 people who attended the event actually came forward to receive Jesus, and nearly 20 people registered to participate in upcoming educational programs. Well, that's it for now on CBN NewsWatch. You can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care about most at cbnnews.com. Also, tell us what you think about the stories you've seen here, and you can do that on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hope you'll join us next time. Have a great day.